This is also Remy.
This is Sam Stout.
What's up? It's Nate Diaz.
Hey guys, this is Chad Mendez.
This is Junior Dos Santos, and you are listening to MMA Meltdown.
All right, welcome back to MMA Meltdown Radio Show on 102.3 ESPN. My name is Leonard Armenta, and we're honored to have this special guest on our show today, IFL champion, the Tough 10 heavyweight winner, and a jiu-jitsu black belt, and just an overall great guy. We have Roy Big Country Nelson. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Roy, I'm going to kind of get into it pretty quickly here. With UFC 146 coming up this weekend, it's going to be a real exciting fight with Dave Herman. Initially, you were slated to fight Bigfoot Silva. Then it was moved to Gonzaga, who injured his back, and now it's Dave Herman. And I just wanted to kind of see what is different or what you've changed with your training going between three different guys that you've been slated to fight.
You know what? Training for, Bigfoot, I had a whole bunch of different people who come in for, Bigfoot. And then when I got Gonzaga, I changed up camp just the last, 2 weeks that I had. And then the last week or so with Dave Herman, just ran out of money, and then we just kind of hope for the best.
Right. I know their styles are pretty contrasting. What is it like for you? You're going to be fighting in your hometown of Vegas, which has happened before. What does it feel like for you to fight in Vegas versus on the road?
As long as it's on the West Coast, it's just like a little mini vacation. But, at home, you still get your normal problems, bills to pay. People still calling you going, hey, can I get tickets? Or, all the people that you see on an everyday basis.
Right. I can understand that for sure. Did you bring anyone special to your camp leading up into this fight that you maybe haven't trained with before?
I brought in a couple of people for Bigfoot, different skill sets and the style and size is a little bit different from Dave Herman.
Going back to UFC 143 when you fought Verdum, which I love the fight. It was a great Fight of the Night award, and we got to see the new slim down Roy Nelson. Are we going to see the same slim down Roy Nelson for this fight? And are you looking to stay heavyweight, or does light heavyweight sound like it might be in your future?
For this fight, right now I'm still heavyweight. As slimming down, I was trying to do the slim down thing for all the wrong reasons, so just going to go out there and fight.
Now, I've seen some things about you. Now, I know you like to attribute a lot of success for you with your family, your wife in particular. Does it get tough on her, leading into the fights, into, the last couple weeks when you're cutting down weight and things like that? Does it get cut on her, and what's it like being married to somebody that's so supportive of your career?
With my wife, she's just supportive regardless of what my choices are. That's always a plus. It doesn't have to do with fighting or anything. Just generally, just a wife that cares about you and then supports you regardless of what career your choices you do.
How's the ride been for you since you've been in the UFC? I mean, going from the IFL and, I know you fought in Elite XC and now you're, in the UFC. How's that transition been for your career? And, has it changed your life dramatically, or are you still pretty much the same Roy?
Changed my life dramatically. I'm going to say no. And being in the UFC, the one thing about MMA, it's all about the fighters. So it doesn't matter if it's UFC, Affliction, Elite XC. It's really about wherever the best fighters are. Kind of like, like a Mayweather Pacquiao. It's not like, it's the IBF or the IBO. It's actually the fighters.
Right.
Really, leagues or whatever, it doesn't really make a difference because it's all about the fighters. That's what people want to watch, the fighters.
Absolutely. Now, since your fights in the UFC, I've noticed you've got heavy hands and you can take a punch like no other, being the first person to take Dos Santos to a decision. But with you being a jiu-jitsu black belt, we haven't experienced as much of that as you used on the Tough show. I know you used a lot of the crucifix. Are you looking to utilize more of that in your future bouts, or are you just pretty content with standing up and banging on your feet?
I think I'm, content on wherever the fight goes. I think the difference is doing the Ultimate Fighter show. I guess if we go into a tournament format, I guess I'll do the GSP route and just play whatever's the safest way to win. And it's all about the W instead of putting on a show.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that would absolutely.
But you put a tournament, I'll go ahead and it's a playoff. I'll go ahead and just win. And it'll be the most ugliest fight in the world, but the fans won't enjoy it.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's all about staying healthy as well. Has the camp been smooth for you, as far as a normal camp for you? I know that I've seen in the past that you had, a gym set up in your living room, and some of the suggestions I'd heard is try to get out there and work in other camps or go to other people's gyms and things like that. Do you still have the gym in your house, and are you moving around and kind of experiencing other camps as well?
Yeah, no, I still have the gym in the house. So I have a world-class camp. You have to have world-class money, and being a poor guy, you work with what you got. When you're working on a beer budget, and I'm not talking Bud Light, I'm more like Keystone type of guy.
Yeah, I can understand that. Now, one of the questions that we have had from our fans for some of the fighters is, how do you guys decide what song you're going to walk out to? And have you ever thought about maybe doing a poll to get the fans involved, maybe on Facebook or Twitter, to maybe help you pick the walkout song that you come out to?
Yeah, no, I would love that. Usually we don't really have the choice. Like, I had the longest time was I'm Fat, and that got pulled for me. So really, the UFC picks your song.
Oh, they do? Okay. Now,
I think it all depends on the fighter if they like you or not.
Right. Right. Well, I know you're definitely a fan favorite, and a lot of us big guys, we definitely root for you and things like that. But another thing that some of the fans were just kind of wondering about is, what do you do for fun outside of the cage?
You know what? Fun for me is just like anybody else, like going to movies, going swimming, you name it, whatever anybody else likes to do. I pretty much like to do it the same way. I put my pants on the same way as everybody else, so nothing special.
Now, do you feel that with a victory over Herman that this is going to, he's got a great record, he's had some big knockouts. Do you feel that this will put you back on track to make a run for the title in the heavyweight division?
You know what? In our game, anything can happen. When you fight Keith Haring and you get a title shot, so anything can happen. I've seen Brock get a title shot off of like 2 wins. In our game, it's anything can happen.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Well, Roy, I really appreciate your time today. And before we leave, would you like to give a shout out to anybody, any sponsors, anything like that have helped you?
The first thing I want to do is always appreciate the fans because they're the boss. And make sure you follow me at Twitter at Roy Nelson MMA. And then after that, if you have Facebook, go to Roy Nelson UFC, and you can hit me up there. And sponsors I want to thank is Praetorian.
All right, sounds great. I appreciate your time, and good luck this weekend.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks.